Hello there, welcome to RHP Makes Home Repairs Easy. My name's Balvinda and I'm the Repairs Manager.
My name's Graham, I'm the MEAS Operations Manager.
So Graham and I work very closely together to make sure all our customers' repairs are carried out quickly, efficiently and to a very high standard. Talk about safety in your homes, and that is one thing really to Graham and I and really to most of RHP is to make sure we carry out your gas safety. You must make sure wherever possible you give us access to your home to carry out a gas servicing. And just the other thing for us that's very important is to make sure before you carry out any sort of repairs in your home, if you are unsure, give us a call. We are a really good resource base and we will give you advice on whatever you need to ask us as long as it's to do with repairs. We do have a live web chat Monday to Friday from about 9 to 5:15 and 9 to 5 on a Friday. We also have our customer.services email that you can email us on, and also you can call us whenever, but use us as a resource for any sort of repairs that you're going to carry out in your home. The other thing which is very close to both mine and Graham's heart is fire safety. We want all of you to be very safe in your homes. The London Fire Brigade do provide free smoke alarms which they can come and install. My one piece of advice would be if you're doing it yourself and you're hardwiring it to all your electrics, make sure the electrics have been done by a qualified electrician. If you're not sure, please let us know. We can come and check. Otherwise, the battery ones are more than good,
And a qualified electrician will always give you a certificate, and you can always ask for their NIC card and they'll produce that when they arrive.
Yeah, so that's brilliant. Thank you for that, Graham. But also the battery ones are just as good, aren't they?
Yes, they are, yeah.
You know, and you'll soon know when the battery runs out. Condensation, real big concern for quite a lot of our customers because a lot of our customers live in flats. My one biggest piece of advice would be ventilation. Would you say that was true, Graham? Just to
Definitely.
keep the homes ventilated?
Yeah. There's a few good tips to follow for condensation.
Okay, do you want to run through them?
Yeah, I mean, ventilation's the key, but in the winter sometimes it's a little bit cold. So the best thing to do is have your radiators on very low and have a window open for a few hours a day, and that will replace all the old stale air and allow fresh air in without preventing the house from getting too cold. The summer months condensation's a lesser issue, but if you're still finding you have serious issues, then it might be a lifestyle choice. It might be that if you're drying lots of washing in the property and it's a small flat or it's a small property and you're suffering from condensation, that's because the damp in the air is not being able to escape. So try and hang washing outside. Tumble dryers, if you don't put the hose of the tumble dryer outside, you'll suffer from the same issue because all the damp moist air is staying inside your property. A good one to follow is the small vents above the window, if you have them, to try and keep them open all the time, and that'll keep fresh air coming in and prevent the dense cold wet air, which is condensation, from forming in your property.
And is it true to say that if they are broken, we'll go out and replace
Yes,
them?
yeah, definitely. We want to make condensation as minimal issue in people's homes as possible.
Yeah. So if you have got vents and you find they're not working, call in, either log a repair online or give us a call and we'll come out and replace it or repair it if possible. So great tips there for condensation. Another one, holidays. You're probably wondering why that's up there, but you know, as much as we would love to know where you are going on holiday, we just really need to know when you're away. So please, can you let us know when you are away? Now, the reason for this is when we have people who are away in flats and sometimes a pipe can burst or soil stack pipes, you know, we need to get into flats to deal with the issue. And if you're away, we can't do it. We very rarely force entry, but there are times when we have to, and that is a last resort for us. So please let us know. And I suppose the other time, Graham, is for gas servicing.
Yes, if you go away for long periods of time, we have quite a number of customers who like to go away for a few months at a time, maybe to visit relatives or to have extended holidays. It could be a coincidence that your gas service is due whilst you're away. and we have to follow, like every housing association, a strict legal process, and that could land you in hot water if we haven't been able to contact you for a month, because it can end up being going legal, and that implies some costs.
It does, yeah.
We would never want to take any legal action where possible. What we would do is we would actually, if you were going away and your gas service was due whilst you're away, we'd do everything we could to come before you went away, and keep any inconvenience to yourselves as minimal as possible.
Yeah. And we do have the online booking service available now, where you can book your online gas servicing during a period of your choice. And like Graham said, we will always work with you and try and do it before you go away, or you could leave a key with a neighbour or relative.
Yeah, just let us know. There's an easy icon on the RHP website that says gas service, and that'll take you through to the screen.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. So we've covered gas servicing, but we can't stress it enough. So we'd really appreciate if you could all work with us. Electricals, Graham.
So electrics is very important. It follows health and safety. It follows people's welfare in homes, and there's lots of legislation around it for the simple reason that we can't see it and we can't smell it, and yet it's very dangerous if it's not kept safe and it's not controlled by qualified electricians. We're always more than happy to come out and check anything that you're unsure of, or give advice over the phone. But we ask that you don't carry out any electrical work in your property, and you always use a qualified electrician. If it's a repair, then please use the same channels, so either the Omni channel or the online channel, or call through to the call centre. We'll be happy for an electrician to come out and carry out the repairs.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll always give you advice. So we've got qualified electricians in the office, and they can always come give you advice, either on the phone, email, or through the webinar chat. Sorry. So for homeowners, repairs are slightly different. Most of the homeowners' repairs are down to individual homeowners. So anything inside their flat, it's down to you. We don't carry out your gas servicing. We ask you to do that for us on our behalf. But the one thing that we are responsible for is your glazing units and the seals around your glazing units, and also any external part of the building is our responsibility. And also, if you live in a flat, we're responsible for communal repairs. Anything other than that, I would suggest you check your lease to look at your obligations as a homeowner. And there's a brilliant website called Lease, which you can go to, and they offer great advice to all homeowners. And again, I've already said this a number of times before, please email us if you've got any questions, and we will most certainly help you with any queries that you do have. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you covered all that, though.
So Graham, this is a good one, because we do see some of these, don't we? Knocking through walls.
It's one of those ones. We all want to maybe create some more space, or we can see maybe a floor plan of our property would look nicer if we maybe removed a wall, or we put a wall up somewhere different. And
or some things we've seen on DIY SOS.
Yeah, we think, come on, let's do that. That would be great. The danger behind that is, one, we don't know what's in the wall.
Yeah.
One, walls are usually there because they're holding something up, and if we take a wall down that we haven't had checked by a professional, then whatever it was holding up may come down. The damage that can be caused by removing an incorrect wall, a structural wall or load-bearing wall, can be huge, and the cost can be massive, and nobody wants the inconvenience or the worry of taking something down that they've not had checked. We always ask that if you want to do any works within the property, please come through and consult with us. We're more than happy to give advice, and if we've got information, we hold enormous amounts of information about properties and buildings and floor plans within RHP. If we can help, we always will, and give as much advice as possible, but also we can guide customers to where to find that correct technical advice.
I mean, we're not saying we would always say no. Where it is possible, as long as it's been done by a qualified builder and our surveyor, we'll arrange for surveyors to come and check, we will give permission.
Yeah.
So we'll always check it. But I think the key message here is just check, and we do have a process to follow if you do want to knock out any walls. So tenants' responsibilities, there's a couple of these that you know, for your own convenience and for us, so you're not kept waiting, and we're not having to tell you that we're not doing it, because it's not nice to hear no. Is, you know, we more or less want to get what we ask for most of the time, don't we? But bath panels, we don't replace bath panels, so that would be down to you. So, you know, if they are damaged, just keep an eye on them. And they're all standard sizes mostly, our baths, aren't
Yeah,
they? So you can
yeah.
pick them up from Home Base and B&Q,
B&Q,
can't
yeah,
we?
standard sizes, just depends how long your bath is. So take measure and measure your bath and measure the height from the floor to the bottom of the bath, and
Yeah.
that'll give you an idea
And
of what you need.
they're quite easy to fit, aren't they?
They're fairly straightforward. Somebody who's you know, a medium standard DIY should be absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
to do. Even somebody like me. Toilet seats, and I'm afraid we don't replace toilet seats. There are exceptions, so it's not a no blanket rule for all. But if you're able to replace a bath panel, I should think it's quite easy to replace a toilet seat.
Yeah, two screws and a couple of nuts.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and then you can get a toilet seat of your choice, because I've seen some quite nice creative ones out there. Again, it's the same for curtain rails and shower rails. It'd be great if you could, you know, we do get some requests to put these up, but we don't. But just be careful when you're drilling in walls again, because of some of the pipes behind walls.
yeah, and electrics below. If you're drilling directly above a socket, that's the golden rule. That there's more than likely a cable there.
Oh,
So
okay.
if there's a socket below where you're drilling, it doesn't matter how far below it is. It's highly likely that the cable's running up the wall inside, and so don't attempt it. Again, check your walls. A simple way of knocking on the wall in different places will tell you whether it's a nice solid wall or different types of walls. You want the right fixings for the walls, because you could drill into something and the wall actually might not take it. So there's many ways to put up a curtain rail. And again, if you want advice, there's some great websites to go on.
Yeah.
YouTube's a fantastic one, or the B&Q website gives step-by-step instructions.
Thank you. Sealing and cleaning, Graham. So we're really talking about if sealants are missing around baths or kitchen worktops, to let us know and we can go back and seal it.
I think that's something that we should do. If you remove a bath seal, there's actually a certain way to do it. It's not a hard job. It's just doing it the correct way, so that when people get in and out of the bath, the seal remains intact and it doesn't break free. So we'd be more than happy to come out and redo that correctly.
And that's the same for kitchen worktops and sinks, you know, we've got sinks inside worktops. So do come get in touch with us about that. And I suppose cleaning, or, you know, we certainly don't want to teach people how to suck eggs, but it's just about maintaining your home and wiping everything down and keeping it clean, particularly your kitchen, sort of door cupboards and things, and bathroom. But it's just about maintaining your home, really. Top repairs that you can do yourself. So one of the ones where I think we'd really appreciate if you could do more of this is if you've got your own garden and you've got fencing and gates, it'd be great if you could maintain them. So carry out varnishing, and regular maintenance will mean they last longer.
Yeah, painting. If you always paint the wood, then you protect the wood for longer. And if the wood becomes old and weathered over a period of time, you know, then it could, most of the time, fences will last a lot longer and gates will last a lot longer if they get a bit of a fresh paint on them every few years.
So just a little bit of TLC on fencing. Unblocking your sink. Great, we get quite a lot of queries about this, don't we, Graham? So sometimes it's as simple as just putting in one of those sink unblockers, would you say?
Yeah, you can use some chemicals that you can buy from different places like Sainsbury's and Tesco's, or failing that, if there's actually something in the bottom and in what we call the trap underneath the sink, then it's held by two plastic nuts, and you can just put a bucket under it, unscrew them, pour it out, empty whatever's in there out, and then re-tighten the nuts up and put it back. Just remember, don't try and rinse out the whatever's in there, because you've just taken the trap off underneath, so all the water will come into the cupboard.
Yeah, and just some, you know, good old tips, you know, not to pour fat down your sink, especially during the winter, because it's only going to solidify. But I think most people don't, you know, they know what to put down the sink and not to. So Some good tips there from Graham, thank you. Additional works we've already covered, so again we do have a process to follow. If there is anything you want to carry out in your home, get in touch with us, and we can send you all the paperwork, and we can certainly offer you advice when you get in touch with us.
I think always the best thing to do is if you call us and ask, and we can discuss it, and we can aid with the plans. We can point you in the right direction for the people who can help you to plan it, or give you the right sort of websites to maybe look at, and that's the best way to do it. If you plan everything and you get the right permissions, then actually it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
And it only becomes a problem if it's not thought out and it's not been agreed.
Yeah. Internal doors. So a lot of our customers do remove their internal doors because sometimes it's nice to have that open planned. If you do that, please keep the door. So if you ever did leave your home, we would like to put those doors back up. But we'd also ask you to maintain your door frame in the same way as you would an internal door, because that is part of the rest of the structure of the house, and the skirting, the door frames, that is down to you to maintain.
Yeah, the door frames don't look very much, but they actually keep everything intact and trim on the sides of the walls. They keep all the brickwork together, and they finish off the door as well to make sure that the door's got something to mount on. And if we start removing our door frames, then the door's got nothing to fix to.
Yeah.
And also behind the door frame, we'll usually find brickwork and an unfinished surface.
So before you do remove any, just check with us and do store them. Sticky doorbells. This is a wonderful invention, because if you don't want to wire and you don't hear the door knocking, you can purchase these from B&Q and Homebase. Don't know how much they are, they're not very expensive, but literally it's just a peel-on sticky, and it's a bell. You have to put batteries in it, and you have a doorbell without any wiring. So they're a great invention. I love it. Because I'm useless at wiring, and it just solved my problem. And Graham found this slide quite amusing, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it meant that the doorbell was sticky. I'd never come across this, so it's a new one for me.
Yeah. And again, I know we keep bringing this up again, but we do have a procedure to follow about you carrying out any adaptations to your home. So do let us know. So Graham, do you want to touch on the shower?
Yeah, it's very important that, and it goes on to the planning and the preparation. It goes on to improvements in homes. But if we start doing things in our properties and they're not fully thought out, or then we don't take into consideration other factors that we think is a simple job, and maybe it then could cause damage in a further way, or a way we haven't thought about. So something very simple is installing a shower over a bath, or installing an electric shower that you pay in good faith to an electrician or a plumber, and they come and they do the work for you, but your tiles are only 4 or 5 high, and they're not full height tiles, so the water's running on the wall. And although you may have bought, say, waterproof paint, and you painted the wall with waterproof paint, it won't be sufficient to prevent water from penetrating behind the tiles that are existing, causing the damage to the wall behind. The tiles will end up over a period of time falling off. Most of the time water runs behind the bath and damages the flooring behind the bath. And then if you're in a block of flats, it could pass through into the flat below, or if you're in a house, then it could affect the structure of the flooring underneath where the bath is. Water and fire are the two things that cause a huge amount of damage to properties, and when we have to come and repair or rectify this, it takes a huge amount of work to gut the property, or gut the room that's been affected, to replace and repair the plaster and the tiling and the bath and the flooring.
And it can also always travel down to the flat.
And it does, yeah. It travels everywhere, and it doesn't just stay in a confined space. Water will spread, and then you'll get damp, and you'll get mould, and you'll get smells, and the flooring will become rotten. And a small job like fitting a shower, that would be a small amount of money, would actually increase to be a large cost repair to RHP.
Yeah.
The easiest way to do it is, if you'd like to have a shower installed and you'd like to know more information, or you want to know the best way that you can ask somebody to do it, please call us and we'll have a look and we'll give you the best advice we can. And potentially, you know, we do installation of showers where warranted,
Yeah,
but we do it in the correct manner by tiling from floor to ceiling, from the bath to the ceiling, to ensure that the whole enclosure that the shower's on is protected.
Cookers above units above cookers. I have seen this in some certain flats.
Yeah, there's strict measurements for a unit above a cooker, and it's very simple. That the cooker's obviously got a naked flame, and the heat travels up and causes damage to the wood. The wood's combustible. It does have what we call a fire rated time, so the wood will be able to withstand heat for a certain period of time. But over a certain period of time, it will then degrade, and then you'll start to see browning and scorching marks, and then the risk is that there could be a fire. And again, fire spreads very quickly and causes a huge amount of damage, and nobody wants to put any of their family in risk from something as simple as fitting a cupboard above a cooker.
Yeah.
In the slide you can see that it could be an extractor fan, or it could be an overhead small cupboard, but it's nice and high above the cooker. So if you're considering putting something above a cooker space, I would always err on the side of caution and not. But equally, if you'd like the advice, please call up and we'll be able to give you the exact dimensions.
Thank you. Okay, well, I hope that's been useful. Graham and I are always here if you do want to ask us any other questions. I am going to pass you over to David, and he's going to talk to you about how to set up an RHP account and how to book a repair. But it's been great to being able to share some of the repair issues and concerns that we have and you as our customers have. But look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you're wondering how to set up an RHP account, we actually have 2 documents to show you exactly how to do it, a step-by-step guide. So if you email us on customer.services@rhp.org.uk, we'll be able to send these documents out to you, showing you how to set up your RHP account and how to book a repair online. And our website is www.rhp.org.uk. And do you have any questions for us? I can see there's one coming in right now. Okay. I want to take wallpaper off the wall. Can I use a steamer?
You can use a steamer, yes. Wallpaper's one of those simple jobs that you can either use a steamer, you can dampen the wallpaper down. Whenever you're removing wallpaper, the best way to do it is in small sections and be very careful, because if it's been on there for a number of years, it can start to pull the plaster off. Again, a nice simple job of removing wallpaper can become costly, but if it's done in the correct manner and it's done slowly and carefully, you'll actually find that it should come away. Sometimes people find nice surprises where they remove wallpaper and then they find more wallpaper.
Another question that's just come in is, can I put a dividing fence in my living room?
Again, that's where you would have to seek permission from us. I mean, it would depend on the size of your living room. But what we would do in an instance like that is ask why, because we can help with other factors. But also we would send a surveyor around to have a look, and then we'd go through the whole process with you. So it's not a yes or no question answer, but we would come out and see you and look at it like that. I know you mentioned earlier, Graham, when we were talking about some of the questions that you get asked about boilers, filling them before a service.
Yes. So if customers have a newer boiler, they may know something about what's called a filling loop. A filling loop fills the boiler, and there's a gauge on the boiler, and it will say 0, 1, 2, 3, like a clock face, and it'll have a needle, and the needle usually sits at number 1. But if it's on 0 and they're experiencing maybe no heating or hot water and they have a filling loop, that's the easiest way to be able to fill the system back up to number 1 and the boiler should fire up and run absolutely fine. But again, any questions, if you're not sure, if you've got no heating or hot water, call through to us, we'll raise a repair and I'll send an engineer out who can talk you through how to fill up the boiler so that you know in future, but also who can effect a repair nice and quickly.
That's all the questions that we've had for today. Thank you for listening.